Welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. Tower Talk Business Radio brings you conversations with the top business minds on Long Island and around the nation, including expert consultants and small business owners who have found success, but are also willing to share their top tips, failures, and give gritty, matter-of-fact advice based on their first-hand experience. And now, let's get down to business with Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation.
Hello, and welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Ray Schwetz, AVP of Nefke Business Banking, along with Denisha Boston Hills, CEO, Keeper of the Brand Marketing and Digital Agency, and we're focused on being the premier resource for business and entrepreneurship. We bring you weekly business advice, tips, tools, and services that help grow your business. Plus, we interview the top business leaders in the industry. Now, helping provide us with business empowerment today is our guest, Hillary Needle, president of Hillary Needle Events Incorporated. Hillary is a cum laude graduate of Hofstra University with a BA in Communications and Journalism. She has more than 20 years of senior management expertise in events planning. Her experience includes serving as the Director of Development for the American Heart Association and then as Executive Vice President for 8 years at a prominent events planning corporation, active in fundraising, event management for nonprofit organizations. She created Hillary Needle Events in 2009 to bring her creativity, passion, and dedication directly to her clients. What really sets her apart is her unique ability to create exciting opportunities to generate revenue and recognition for their events. She was honored by the Long Island Business News in 2013 and 2015 as one of the top 50 most influential women in business, as well as a Long Island Power Woman in Business in 2015 by Schneps Communications. I can tell you, based on my firsthand experiences working with her and Ken Serini as a committee member for the annual Imagine Awards, that she's just fantastic. I'm proud and honored to call her my friend. Hillary, welcome very much to the show.
Thanks, Ray. I'm so happy to be here.
We're very happy we're very excited to have you here. Now, I don't really know this. Tell us how you got started as an events planner.
Well, I don't remember a time when I wasn't an event planner. I attended Hofstra University, majoring in journalism, and I interned in their PR department where I was able to work on conferences and events. I was also the social chair for my sorority, and I planned their mixers and their events, but it wasn't something I set out to do with intent. I was offered a job at the American Heart Association on Long Island as a special event coordinator after graduation. And I was the low man on the totem pole, and I worked on all the thons, the walk-a-thon, the dance for heart, the jump rope for heart. And I also assisted the director of development. So after a few years, that job opened up, and I applied along with many other applicants in the area, and they selected me to do it. So I was really excited and really scared because I was young at that point. But my responsibilities at that time were to oversee an entire development campaign and major gifts and memorial gifts, along with 10 events a year. And it was myself and an assistant at that time.
Wow.
And I was young, and I had to work twice as hard to gain the respect of all the board members, who were mostly middle-aged men at that time. Honey, baby, sweetheart. I got a lot of that. But it wasn't long until they were my staunchest supporters and allies, and I learned a lot. That was boot camp. That was boot camp, doing that. And I took a break when my kids were born, but I found myself running all the school fashion shows and chairing some of their events. And I realized the day that my youngest went to full-day kindergarten, I walked back into the house after putting her on the bus and updated my resume. I knew it was time to go back to work and to get paid for all this great stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I started from there, and I had 2 part-time jobs simultaneously that I had applied to, and I was offered both of them, and I decided to do them both at the same time just to see what stuck.
Oh, wow.
So one of them was doing medical marketing for a radiology practice, which I really enjoyed. And I was also doing event planning for a firm in Garden City, and I decided to go full on into the events world, and it was something that I really enjoyed, and I got to work with a lot of great nonprofits. I learned a lot. And then I was there for about 8 or 9 years, and then I left and started Hillary Needle Events in 2009 and never looked back.
Wow. Now tell us about the services that you offer as Hillary Needle Events.
We are an event planning company, and there's a broad range of services to corporations and not-for-profit organizations planning their events, galas, golf outings, casino nights, corporate events. We do marketing and PR around those events, budgeting, logistics, volunteer management, and we coordinate the design, entertainment, the graphics, venue details with all the vendors. So it's basically you're outsourcing an entire staff person. And that would be me, my company.
And your events are a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I work really hard to have them be something of an annual tradition that people look forward to and know it's not going to be one of these tired, snooze fests.
I remember there was the murder mystery one. There was, the casino one is amazing.
Yep.
I mean, you always outdo yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. It's fun. And I get to work with a lot of really amazing people, both in the corporate and in the not-for-profit space. So it's good. It's a good gig.
Why the focus on the nonprofits?
Well, I come from a nonprofit development background, so I understand that space very well. The challenges with fundraising and coming up with innovative and cost-effective event planning ideas and techniques, motivating the staff around the event, attracting sponsors, cultivating donors. It's a niche I've carved out for myself that I think distinguishes me from others who plan events. I do corporate events, and that balances out all the not-for-profit work.
Gotcha.
So
you got your fingers in a couple of pies there.
In several pies, and that's what keeps it fun and interesting. And a lot of times there's crossover. Mm-hmm. And one of the best parts and most endearing parts of the job for me is making matches between the people I meet out networking in the corporate world and my not-for-profits.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very rewarding feeling to know that you make a connection like that.
Absolutely. And that's my ROI. Mm-hmm. If I can walk away at the end of a night knowing that there was a guest who'd never been there, who'd never heard the mission of this group that was putting on the event and now wants to work with them, it's money in the bank for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's funny, when I'm networking, I've always been taught by really good mentors that you see the person who's sitting by themselves and you sit next to them rather than try to. And it's amazing. Those people are usually people who just, they're not comfortable speaking, but, once you get them, it's amazing the connections that you can make for them and also with them.
Absolutely. Sometimes I feel like Julie, the cruise director.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a happy job.
Yep. Now, what inspires you?
In my personal life and also in my professional life, mm-hmm. I've surrounded myself with some very strong, intelligent, funny, and loving women. Depending on the issue or the advice that I need, I've got a network of incredible women surrounding me who I can call on, and they always have my back, and I know which person to call for which issue, and I know who's going to tell me what I need to hear versus what I want to hear.
Gotcha.
And that's been really important for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think having a team of people to support you and be around you is huge.
Absolutely.
It's huge. You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio. Our guest today is Hillary Needle, president of Hillary Needle Incorporated. My name is Ray Schwetz on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. So we talked a little bit about your differentiator, but I'd like you to go a little deeper into that if you don't mind.
Well, in order to plan a successful event, and that, in my estimation, success, aside from the reaching or exceeding your financial goal, is that it's a well-rounded, well-received, well-run, fun event. And you really have to get to know the organization, and you work so closely with them that you sort of become part of their family. And in doing so, I get to understand their strengths and their weaknesses and eventually function as an ambassador year-round for them, making matches for them and forging strategic alliances with potential sponsors or board members and supporters long after the event is over.
Yeah, so it's not a one and done.
No.
It's a long-term relationship.
It is. It's nice.
Good. Speaking of long-term relationships, you're a Hofstra alumni.
I am.
So tell us a little bit about your work with Hofstra.
I'm very proud of Hofstra. I've been volunteering in various capacities for the Hofstra Alumni Association for over 10 years actively. And full disclosure, my mother was president of the Alumni Association. Oh. So I was involved growing up, so it's a natural fit for me. I started out on their alumni organization board as an events co-chair Big shock. I know, it's surprising. That's the first place they plugged me in.
Of course.
And then I moved up the ranks, and now I serve as president of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication alumni. And
Wow.
I've been doing that for a year, and I love this new role. It's a thrill to meet so many alumni who have really serious roles in film, TV, and media. And it's interesting to see firsthand how much the school is changing and evolving as we move toward the future. I got to be involved just as a guest at a VIP party for the last couple debates that we had, the presidential debates on campus.
Ooh.
And that
must have been something.
That was really neat. That was really exciting. And to see all the media and the media vans and the machine that
Wow.
drives the whole debate process, the production of it was just unbelievable. And I, in my travels, I encourage students and colleagues to reach out to their alumni organizations because it's a tremendous opportunity, as you know,
Yes.
to network for business. And I must admit, I've also met some of the best friends I've ever had through the Alumni Association.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we never went to school at the same time, but we connected through the alumni, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a common bond. I'm an NYIT alumni as well as an NCC alumni, and it's amazing, being on the show is a result of me being an alumni. So
that's neat.
That's pretty awesome. Now, I know you talked a little bit about your work with nonprofits. The thing is, though, it always astounds me the level of work that you do. You work with so many people. Can you talk a little bit about some of your work with nonprofits?
Well,
you do so much.
I'm very, very fortunate to have some amazing nonprofit clients, and fall is high event season for me. It's a very busy time at Hillary Needle Events. We've got 3 events back-to-back over the course of the next 6 weeks, and I'll run down my calendar for you, and all the links and images and save the dates to these events can be found on my website, hillaryneedleevents.com.
Cool.
Click on the Client Events tab, and everything's there for you.
Yeah.
So the first up is the Accountant Attorney Networking Group on Tuesday, October 16th from 6 to 9 at the Milleridge Cottage. That's not a fundraiser, but they do have great corporate sponsors who come out and set up their displays and hang out with us for the evening. It's just pure networking. Every year in October, we do a fun theme. This year's theme is Halloween.
Oh, cool.
We're, mid-October.
Costumes needed, or?
Costumes are welcome, but not required.
Okay.
And it's a very high level of networking with accountants, attorneys, financial people. Anyone who wants to network in that space is welcome to come. Non-members, it's $110 in advance or $125 at the door. And everything has an online registration link. Next up is the Girls Inc. of Long Island Gala is November 1st at the Crest Hollow Country Club. And Girls Inc. came to me several years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe this might be our 7th event. And they needed to do a fundraiser. And they called me to help them do this. They didn't have the staff or the bandwidth at that time to do it. And we invented this event called the Butterfly Awards that is now turned into the Girls Inc. Gala. And we are honoring 5 unbelievable business leaders. And, as a charity, all the proceeds go to support their mission. Girls Inc. in 2005 established itself as a local affiliate of the national organization Girls Inc., and they serve girls age 5 to 18 in just one school at that time with programs on STEM, media literacy, financial literacy, adolescent pregnancy. I mean, they're out there in the trenches with these girls, and now they serve over 20 schools.
Wow.
So I know that the events that we've done helped fund all these programs. And again, it's a fun event. It's really inspiring. Everybody wears red. A lot of dancing. This is a happy dancing crowd.
You can be impactful and be fun as well.
That is the best way to be.
Yeah.
That is the best way to be. So their ticket information can be found on girlsincli.org or on my website. And following that one, about a week later, is the Long Island Alzheimer's Foundation Making Memories Cocktails and Casino Night on Tuesday, November 13th. That's at the Mansion at Oyster Bay. This is a similar story. Long Island Alzheimer's Foundation came to me a few years ago. They'd had a gala that sort of stagnated over the years and was just not doing much for them. And as much work as an event is, it needs to be profitable.
Right.
And also bring in new blood. So we completely changed up the format. We took it from a seated dinner that was sort of, quiet and sophisticated.